You want to see how I make cannellini beans in the iPot? I thought so. All right, here's another Instapot recipe for all those noobs out there and anyone who has not attempted to make cannellini beans in the iPot. It's super easy, nothing to worry about. Let's just jump right in. Okay, so I started out with a 1 pound bag of white kidney beans or cannellini beans, depends on what side of the ocean you're from. Okay, and then in my iPot, now I just want you to see that all that white stuff in the bottom of the iPot? That's just starch. Your iPot will get that, and you know what? Just learn to live with it. It ain't no big thing. It's clean, don't worry. Okay, so I have washed and rinsed and picked through my cannellini beans, and now I'm going to do a quick soak and cover them with about 1.5 inches of water. Drop that inner pot back into the iPot. I love that you can take the liner out. It's so awesome. Okay, and then I'm going to use the saute mode to heat up the water. So I hit the saute button, then I'm going to use the adjust button to increase the heat to more, which is like high on your stovetop. And then once the water comes to a boil, I just turn off the saute mode by hitting the keep warm cancel button, and then I just let the beans sit in that hot water for about, I don't know, probably about 40 minutes. So here's the beans after 40 minutes of soaking. I've drained off the water, given them a good rinse, and I'm putting them back into the inner pot. Look at them, they're so pretty. Okay, 1 large bay leaf. I want to save my broth for a soup later, so I'm going to go ahead and season up my water. I've added 4 whole garlic cloves and 1 teaspoon of salt. That's completely optional. If you want to leave it out, you can. If you want to add a little more, you can. Just go with it. And then I'm going to add just enough water to cover the beans. I want to cover the beans with 1 inch of water. Make sure, and I try to make sure that the beans are all level, you know, before I start measuring. I stick my finger in the water and I just kind of see how it comes up on my knuckle. When it goes right past my first knuckle, I know I've got about 1 inch of water. That's how I roll. Okay, I'm going to put on the lid, but first we have to check the seal. Make sure that the seal is seated properly in the lid. Make sure my little cover there to my airlock is not clogged in any way. Make sure my steam release handle is seated properly on the nozzle. And then we're ready to put on the lid. Just lock and load, baby. And then make sure the steam release handle is pointing to sealing so that it will come to pressure. Next, you just hit the manual button, which automatically goes to high pressure, and then use the minus key to adjust the cooking time down to 20 minutes. All right, now let's just talk about this real quick. I want you to know that it's going to take at least 5 minutes for the water to heat up and the Instapot to build up pressure on the inside. And when the pressure builds up, you'll see this little cover lock rod pop up, and then we know that we have pressure in the pot and that the cooking time will begin shortly after that. And then you'll see on the screen that the cooking time will start. It'll start at 1 and then go all the way up to 20. Or does it go from 20 down? Well, anyways, the cooking time begins there. So you have about 5 minutes of pressure building time. Then there's actually 20 minutes of cooking time. And then once the 20 minutes is up, it automatically kicks into keep warm mode, okay? Now, I wanted to wait about 10 minutes before I take the lid off and let the pressure go down. So here is what it looks like when the pressure's going down. So in that 10 minutes, I just thought I'd go water the plants or whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to cancel the keep warm mode. I'm going to turn the steam release handle to venting to allow what remaining pressure there is in the pot out of the pot. And then you'll see that the cover lock will drop down. Abracadabra. No, it doesn't happen. Okay, sometimes you have to get a little spoon and tap it. But what you can't hear is that there's no steam coming out of the pot. Okay? Now we can take the lid off. And of course, if that rod was still in the upward position, I couldn't get the lid off. It's impossible. Okay, I want to scoop out the bay leaf. Look at our pretty cannellini beans. Ooh, there's a whole clove of garlic. I could eat that right there. I wouldn't have any problem at all. Would you? Yeah, high five. All right, look, there's our pretty beans. Oh, and again, you know, if you've watched any of my other bean recipes videos, you know that I like to blow on the beans, and when the beans peel back, I know I've got a properly cooked bean. They are not mushy, I promise. They are not overcooked. They are perfectly, perfectly tender. Now, I've got a lot of cannellini beans here, so I'm going to go ahead and put some in a bowl for us to add to our meals and make things out of, and then I'm going to take the other half and I'm going to put it up in the freezer and save it for later. Look at that. Oh, they're so pretty. They're huge. Cannellini beans. I think they're my favorite because they're not chalky, or you know how other white beans are navy beans, and what's the other bean? There's the navy bean and there's the other bean, and they're kind of chalky, but these large white kidney beans are not. They're very creamy, and I really like to use those. Now, okay, so I had seasoned up my bean water, or my aquafaba, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to save back my bean water this time, and I'm going to try making some chickpea patties later on this week, or maybe I might make some cannellini bean patties or something. So I've used, so I'm saving my bean water, and I used a cheesecloth and a strainer to strain out my bean water, and then whatever I have left here, I've just decided I'd just pour it over the beans that are going to go in the freezer. Waste nothing. Look at her. Dun, 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 dun. We are rocking, man. I am rocking. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. We're ready to eat some beans. There we go. So I got beans for now, beans for later, and I got some aquafaba. Faba? Which one? Bean water. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I gotta tell you, last night I made the most delicious potato and broccoli soup that I have ever made in my life. Did I turn on the camera? No. Because you know why? Because I was cleaning out the fridge. You know how that is? You make those meals that are absolutely awesome, but you'll never be able to make them again because you were just cleaning out the fridge and trying to, you know, get things ready for your next grocery shop, and you didn't pay attention to the spices that you used. Everything had its own flavor, and then you go to serve it up to your family, and they're like, oh, "This is the greatest thing ever," and I'm like, "Yeah, enjoy it. It's never going to happen again." Maybe I can recreate it in Thursday night's cooking show. I'll try that. Anyways, I added these cannellini beans to my broccoli potato soup, and it was awesome. It really helped. The beans really helped fill us up. It wasn't, you know, sometimes broccoli soup just, you know, isn't hefty enough to fill our tummy. So adding these cannellini beans really helped. Anyways, it was a big hit, and there's hardly any left over. I barely got enough for lunch today. It was so good. Anyways, all right, I'm gonna let y'all go. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Give me a holler, say hi in the comments below. You see how simple it is. I'm not gonna write out this recipe because it's pretty much, once you've seen it, you got it down. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.